Alright, so this is the first webinar for spring. Um, so the way we usually do it, well, first, my recommendation is to go through if you haven't already, go through the introduction area, read all that. There's like an introduction video, kind of tells you how to approach things. And, the Facebook group is a really good place to ask questions to get them answered really quickly. Of course, there's some questions you have to ask directly to me, and that's what the webinars are for. So the way I do the webinars is I just kind of let people fire away, and I just go through the questions. I'll take screenshots of the questions because you guys can't see the box. So I'll take a screenshot of the questions, and I'll go through each question with my mouse next to the question I'm on, and I just let you guys fire away. The whole time I'm just answering questions as they come in. These are usually an hour or so, but I don't mind going over that. Depending on what I'm doing, sometimes I can't, sometimes I can. So, all right. With that said, you guys can fire away, start asking all the questions you got, and we'll get rolling here. And if you're not in the Facebook group yet, just give me a day or sometimes it takes a little bit for it to go through for some reason. Like won't show up. Um, I don't know why Facebook does that, but if you don't hear from me in 48 hours, just message me again. And I'm going to wait for a few questions to roll in, then we'll get started. I'll get a screenshot and we'll get rolling. Oh, my other recommendation is as you go through the content, write down your questions. Okay? That way you can either ask them in the Facebook group if it's like a more general question, or you can bring them to the webinars. That way you don't forget. Alright, so we got a few questions and I'll get these going. Alright, so I just bring up Notepad, paste them in, because you guys can't, again, see the box when I'm in webinar, so. See some familiar names here. Alright, so first question from Tom. Oh, the other thing I recommend is that you ask SEO questions on my webinars and anything else to Fletch, like anything with clients or anything like that, because he's really good with clients, and then I'm, good with SEO. It's not that you can't ask me those questions, but he'll likely give you a much better answer for client stuff because he's much better at that than I am. And on the other hand, I'll probably give you better answers for SEO stuff. Now you can ask him if you want, but I'd really feel more comfortable if you ask him to Flesh, just because I think he'll help you more, and I want you guys to get the help you need. But here's Tom's question, and I always have my mouse, and I'll say the person's name, and then I'll read it, and you guys can read it as I'm reading it, and then I'll answer it. Yeah, Tom, you can do that, but when you redirect the site, you got to consider, if they have an EMD, you got to consider you won't have that power. The redirect won't carry that power. Um, and the other thing is when you redirect, I believe it only carries 90% of the power. So, if you're like number two, then you redirect to their site, they may drop to like number seven. It depends on how competitive. So you can do that if you want. Yeah, and there's the Facebook thing. Again, that's weird. I don't get some messages for some reason. Just keep messaging me if you don't get it after like the third message, send one to Mike or send an email to support. But I usually get people in by like the second or third message because then it usually starts showing up for me. Yeah, John, you can still get them. Most of the deleted domains are not the type we're looking for usually, just because most of the good domains get picked up at auction. When a domain's not picked up at auction, it moves to the deleted domain section. There will be some that slip through the cracks that people miss, but for the most part, deleted domains are kind of like the bottom of the bunch. But of course, you can pick out some gold in there. So if you want to take the time to do that, you can definitely find them. Again, they will lose their age, but all the links are still there. This is from Tom. Link Juice Keeper, what it does is. Are you talking about the person with Link Juice? I think you're talking about Link Juice Keeper, Tom. You can get that at WordPress.org, or we have it in the members area. what it does is like if you get an expired domain, instead of having to build out the old pages, if links are going to a non-existent page, it will redirect that link to the home page. Okay, so that link's not being wasted. So any of the old pages that are getting links, from the old site, redirected to the home page, so you keep all that juice. All right, from Susan. Yeah, Susan. Again, the introduction. We have like an orientation video that tells you how to get started and all that. I don't know if you saw that yet. So I'm gonna go get the next round of questions here. And sometimes a lot of questions come in, so if you ask a question, I might not get till 10, 20 minutes later, depending on how many people are on. And as these webinars go on, guys, there'll be less and less people coming. So I can go more and more into depth into questions. For like example, the first group, we get like a third of the people that showed up at first. So I can go really in depth in questions after, like a month or so. I go more and more into depth, the less people we have. GSA is just like it's like a automatic link service TD. A lot of people like it because they think it's more powerful than some of the other ones as far as like its capabilities. But it's generally the same thing, building kind of spammy type links, and we have all sorts of training on that. All right, this is from Tom. You want to use whatever you're trying to get, Tom. Like, if you're bidding on soft.com, you want to see the links at soft.com. I don't mean know exactly what you're asking here. You want the exact URL of what you're bidding on. And again, that's just because I haven't accepted you yet, Chris. I'm probably not getting your message for some reason, so just send another one. PBN theme. Whenever I'm doing a post, I try to throw my keywords in there, like in the content too, not just like if it's like an article on plumbing, and I'm doing like Delaware plumbing, I'll try to throw make it kind of about Delaware. Even if it's a general plumbing article, I'll go and add Delaware in a couple places, and then I'll link out to Delaware plumbing. So it's not just the link that has Delaware in it, but also it's in the content, a couple times. From Chrissy. Yeah, you can do that, Chrissy, but I really recommend expired domains if you can. If you spend time in the research phase, you can still find good deals. I still get good deals every single day. I spend a lot of time researching. From Jason here. No, that doesn't matter, Jason. It's about the link juice that we're passing. The reason for that is Google's a computer. They can't, like, if it's a politics site, who says that a politics site wouldn't link out to a baby site? Because maybe something happened with a new law for babies and it links out to babies. Like a computer can't think like that, so all they can really do is pass on the link juice. You know what I mean? Or even if it's a dog site, maybe they're talking about how a dog bit a baby or something, so you can link out to a baby site. I mean, because a computer can't tell the correlation there, or if it's a natural correlation you're doing. So all they can really do is pass on link juice. From Eve. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Sorry if I'm killing your name there. Yeah, just like I set up WordPress, put up an article, and link out from that article to the money site. But we have a whole section on that. Again, Anders, I would go through the orientation stuff, especially the orientation webinar. From Ben here. Um, it depends how you set it up, Ben. And different people will tell you different things. There's different definitions of what siloing is. If you ask Ruskell, he's probably gonna tell you no. Like you gotta do it a very specific way. And if you ask someone that's not as technical, they might say it's fine. So it's hard to answer that question. And there's so many different views on it. I show a video how you can set it up manually. I believe in the members area. So if you're going to do it manually, I would just follow that way. It's pretty easy. So I'm gonna go get a new set here. Am I recording? Okay, I'm good. From Evan here. Evan, for that, it depends what kind of budget you have and what kind of market you're in. If you're in an easy, and there's nothing wrong with less links, guys, by the way. A site with 2 really good links can be better than a site with 10 decent links or 100 decent links. So, having less links is just a little riskier because those links can be, if those links are taken down, then that's pretty much the whole power of the site. So you got to kind of find a middle ground there between getting deals and being smart about that type of stuff. But yeah, less links doesn't necessarily mean it's not as powerful as something more links. What I usually do is if a site has just a couple really good links, I'll actually go and see the post and see if I can see when that link was made or when that page was made. So if it's a page that's like a year or older, there's a pretty good chance it's not going to get taken down. I'll go after it, depending on the price. So just kind of be creative with that type of stuff, and trust me, there's still tons of deals out there. Yes, you asked questions right here, Todd. From Hin here. I would probably have one location or one page for each location, Hin. I mean, you could do like boroughs, I guess. Um, the tri-state areas like Philly and Bryn Mawr and like maybe 5 other cities. So you can do it like that. But it also depends on the competition and stuff because you want to have a URL optimized URL for specific keywords depending on the competitiveness. So if it's something like Philadelphia lawyers, I would definitely have a URL just for that because that's more competitive. Or if it's something like I don't know, something that's like a much easier area, you might be able to do like by boroughs or by kind of group stuff together like that. What's up, Emmanuel? From Jonathan here. Yeah, absolutely, Jonathan. That can actually be strong. Using the Web 2.0 stuff, then linking to your Web 2.0s, and using the PBNs. Of course, yeah, definitely. You can definitely use that. From Mike here, I didn't get his whole question, so I'm going to recopy. And what's up, Mike? I haven't talked to you in a while. I do remember you at Nashville. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Mike. Bringing the domain authority up. Um, the best way to do that is just really strong links, really strong PBN links. But also, there's some tricks that I don't even know how to properly do that Jimmy Kelly does. So Mike, I know you met Jimmy, so I would probably message him and see if he'll talk to you about that. He's really good at that stuff, a lot better than I am as far as domain authority. But the way I would do it personally is just send more powerful links to it. So that's the way I would approach it, or I would just ask Jimmy if he could help me out. So from Keith here, how many money sites do you link to from each PBN? As many as it takes. Oh, how many money sites do you link to for? Okay, I see what you're saying. It depends how many sites I have in that niche, Keith. I just make sure I don't keep linking to the same sites over and over and over again. So let's say I have 5 sites. Okay, one, two, three. Let's just do A, B, C actually. A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, 5 sites in the lawyer niche, whatever. For Blog Network Site 1 or PBN 1, I might link to A, B, and C. Okay. For PBN 2, I might link to D and E. PBN 3 post, I might link to A, D, and E. Okay. PBN 4, I might link to A and E. So what I try to do is just link together sites as little as possible. What I don't want to do is link to A, B, and C on post 1, A, B, and C on post 2, A, B, and C on post 3, A, B, and C. I just don't want to link to the same sites over and over and over again together, okay? Or if I do have to do that for some reason, I'll make sure I put a decent amount of authority links in, or more than I normally would. So there's no really limit that what you can link to. But I do recommend no more than 100 links on a PBN. That's my absolute max. Usually I have much less than that. But as far as money sites, I would say there's not a limit, because you're not going to have more than 100 money sites in the same niche. But as far as limiting goes, I wouldn't limit that beyond that. As long as you're not linking to the same thing over and over and over again. Sean. Absolutely not necessary to link with a magic verse, and I never do that actually. I start linking my PBN to the money sites usually like a week after. I like to wait at least a week after the content's there. Like I'll put the content out, wait like a week at least. I like to wait 2 weeks, but there's certain cases where I'll put the content up and start linking right away. Now I'd rather wait the week or two, but if I'm in a situation where I need to start linking right away, I will. From Ben here. Yeah, definitely switch it up, Ben, and I don't always do it. Sometimes I'll just link to my money site, sometimes I'll add in authority sites with it. And I like to really mix it up as much as I can. I would say I use authority sites with my money sites more than I don't though. And I like to use like pictures and embed videos, do both, do just one, switch all that stuff up. From Adrian here. If the site's already built, Adrian, I wouldn't even worry about that, especially if it's a local site, because with Dennis City, when you're in a city, for example, like Nashville SEO, let's go to Google. A site like Nashville SEO, like I can't really make too many more topics for this site. It's about Nashville SEO. What am I going to do? California SEO? California plumbers? Like it doesn't make sense. So really, I can't spread my wings too far on this site. It's pretty much all about Nashville SEO because it's a very specific topic domain name. So in your case, I wouldn't even worry about it. If you haven't done it from the get-go, it's really not a big deal. And actually, a lot of my local sites, I still don't even really silo. You don't really need it. And that's just my opinion. All right, so let's get to the next question here. All right, from Tom here. You don't really need to put content up, Tom. They still have all the links going to them. Whatever links are going to them are there. And when you put up content, you're going to get that link juice from those links they're powering the site. So, I mean, you can put up content and put in links later if you want, but I like having it fresh when possible. I have done that, and I do that sometimes, but for the most part, I like putting up new content with the links already in them when I can. From Todd here. Well, the question should be displaying, Todd. Should be displaying on your screen. From Nathan. Yeah, there is, Nathan, but I would just focus on getting it built. If you're in the process of building, it's almost there. If you're bidding on sites, when you win a site, it's in your hands usually within a couple days, maybe a few days to a week if it's GoDaddy. So, unless a week's going to kill you, you do some Web 2.0 stuff or any other type of uh, good quality links. But I would focus on getting that PBN built and use that. From Anders. Yeah, again, just again, stuff with low links, people ignore. Stuff with fake PR, people ignore. The maybe PRs, people ignore. Especially like the lower ones. Put your numbers down, your qualifications down. People will stop looking below 25. There's some good domains down there. It's just kind of I try not to like say all the secrets like plain as day, just so people can get creative and find stuff. Because if every little secret I mention, everyone's going to go out and find the same exact thing. So I try to leave a little bit open for people to get creative with. From Jeff. It doesn't really matter who does your hosting as long as you're getting unique Z-class IPs for your PBNs and as long as it's reliable. As long as they have a good uptime. From Emmanuel. I don't know what you mean by accept all links. Let's see, 50 or so requested. I mean, if they're paying you for the links, then that's the kind of business model you want to set up. There's nothing wrong with that. I personally use my PBNs to power my own sites, though. From Steven. Yeah, they should be, Steven. Usually I will, Ben. I don't worry too much about that. I don't put it on my PBNs, though. Next question set. Alright, from Tom. Yeah, Tom, the person to ask that to, like anything with structure, would be David Mills, and he's David at omgmachines.com. He controls all that type of stuff. No, absolutely not, Ease. I like those types of domains because um, those are good domains. An old senator would have a lot of, probably some government links and some really good natural links from Jonathan. Yep, and I went over that question, but let me know if you have any more questions on it. Eric? Yeah, under $100, Eric. I'll get them for. Or a lot better than the price that most people pay, at least. From Nathan. One PBN site can be effective, and how much is too much really depends on your situation. You know, what niche you're in, your budget, how strong the domain is. That's impossible to answer, but you can be effective with one PBN. You know, I've showed this example. A friend of mine owns a barbershop. He asked me to get him ranked. I put in one link from one site, and he's ranked #1. You know, Delaware Barbershop, Delaware Barbershops, best Delaware Barbershop, best Delaware Barbershops, top, all that stuff. He's #1 from one link from a site that costs like $12. So I mean, you can be effective with one site. From TD. I mean, the more the better. Again, it depends on your niche and what you're looking to do. From Ben. Nah, I wouldn't worry about that, Ben. I don't even listen to that guy, to be honest. I pronounce Eve, okay. Thank you. Anytime you want to know what a theme is, go to whatthemeisthat.com. Or, hold on. What theme is that? Here it is. What WP theme is that? Alright, so if we put in Delaware divorcelawyers.org, is that site even still ranking? I haven't checked that site in forever. So it's used with BusyPress, whatever that is. From James. Okay, I answered that. Carol. Yeah, I just use it for money sites, Carol. From Leah. Yes, more PBN links, but it depends on your anchor text what you use. But no, it probably hit the money keyword. If you only hit it once, try hitting that again, see how it moves. All right, from Adrian. No, I don't do any pinging, Adrian. From Janet. Yes, first live call. No, this is all a group that's all together. You know, we all just started. Keith. As many as you need, Keith. You know, if I need 100, I'll set up 100. If I need one, I set up one. You know, just slowly link, see how it moves. If I need another one, I do another one. Yeah, I'll do that sometimes, Susan. Sometimes I won't even put it in a category. It still doesn't matter. It still passes the link juice. From Carol. I mean, people see that as more safe, Carol. But I definitely have tons of PBNs that cover all different topics on them. You know, e-cigs. Then they'll cover local business. You know, gold. So it just depends. Like I have a mix. I haven't had a problem with either. So depends how safe you want to be. From Adrian. I'm not sure, Adrian. You know, I've never looked really deep into that. I just try to switch it up when I can. So it's a tough question to answer. I'm not totally sure because I've never looked deep into that. It's not, Chrissy, just because it's impossible to say. Unless I see the link, it's impossible to say. And I'll just go through the example videos and you'll kind of get an idea. But I always look at the domain. I look at the page authority, domain authority. Anything with high domain authority is good. If it's a high domain authority, it's coming from a trusted site. But then the higher the page authority is with that, the better. Now, of course, the older it is, the better. So it's hard to say without examples, but there's some in the content we give you. From Ben. Oh yeah, I do that all the time, Ben. Absolutely. I do that all the time. I actually did it with Nashville SEO. I actually love doing that. You see right here, number 1 and 2. All right. Actually, I did the same thing with the Facebook, Foursquare, the Weebly, the Yelp. I guess we got top 6 now. But yeah, with all these, I did it too. I linked all these together. I would link to the Facebook, the Foursquare, the Weebly, the Yelp, all in one post. Then the next time, I would link to maybe just Facebook and Yelp. You know what I mean? So I switched it up like that. From Anders. Anders, I would contact Todd. He's in our Facebook group. He's the owner, Todd Spears. He will be able to help you with anything related to that. I'm still at 515 questions just in case you asked your question a little while ago. Trying to go through them a little quicker so we can catch up. But as I said, as these webinars go on, we'll get less and less people on. I can go more in depth. And of course, there's always the Facebook group. All right, from Nathan. Not. You don't have to do it fast at all, Nathan. I have network sites that I bought 2 months ago that still have nothing on them. Yeah, it doesn't matter, Nathan. And they can sit. It's just if it loses links, you're losing that power, which you would have lost anyway. So it's not a big deal. From Tom. Yeah, you can use other stuff, but I mostly use WordPress just because it's so easy. SEO Zen, I haven't used it, so I can't tell you. But I'm sure it's fine, Shane. Method to use to backlink from a PBN. When I backlink from a PBN, that's the only thing I do, Jonathan. It's just that link on there and it's done. That's it. I don't GSA it. I don't MS it. That's it. I just use the power of that domain to power up my money site. From Ben. Nah. Usually 1, 2, 3 times, something like that, Ben. From Ted. I usually PBN links first, Ted, unless it's a really big site. If it's a site I know is going to be big, like KLKS, I'll do social first. Otherwise, you can do PBN right away. That's totally fine. That's mostly what I do. From Susan. Yeah, I mean you can do Fiverr gigs if you want, Susan, or if you know how to use GSA, you can use that. You can do your when you get your PBN up, you can link to that right away. But yeah, ranking on YouTube and Google is definitely much different as far as how hard it is. From Hin here. Um, no, it would depend on. I know you're saying they're not competitive, but I'll have to see what's going on. Likely, the domain might have a penalty or something, Hin, and I would just be very careful with it. It's tough to say without seeing specifics. All right, from Ben. I wouldn't link my money sites together, Ben. But we covered linking to different money sites is fine. But I wouldn't link the actual money sites together. That's just me. From Jonathan. Yeah, I use a guy called fapcent at gmail.com. Fapcent at gmail.com. He does $2 500 word articles. And, it's not the greatest content, but it's unique and it works. From John here. John, I've been bidding against you in some domains. I recognize your name. Your bid name. So you've been bidding on some good domains because you've been bidding against me. Alright, for an e-commerce site with lots of products. Yeah, that's generally a good way to go, John. As far as ranking the home page, it depends how the site's set up, but if I'm trying to rank the home page for specific keywords, that's what I'll send there. Like for Calcast, for a little while, I was trying to rank the home page for electronic cigarettes, and I did. It was on the first page for a while. Then I realized, the time and effort I was putting into it wasn't worth it for those keywords, so I stopped. So it depends what you're trying to rank for and all that. We have videos on that, Steven. I would, go through them. Ben here. I have a video, Ben, in there about setting up Google authorship in the members area. If you ever can't find anything, email David at omgmachines.com. He'll help you find it. But yeah, there's a video on how I set up authorship very easily from Todd. Yeah, Todd, I just don't repeat the questions because it kills my voice. And I'll be done talking within like a half hour. From Paul here. So if you keep it up on the screen, you'll see it though. Actually, I think that will help you, Paul, as far as like needing less PBNs because you have so many sites in the same niche. You can link to so many different mixes of those 50 sites. You know what I mean? So if you have sites 1 through 50, the first post you can link to 1, 2, and 3. The next post you can link to 4 and 5. The next one you can do 6, 7, 8. There's so many different combinations you can do where you don't link to the same sites together. So that will actually help you, I think. All right, let me go to Keith's question. All right, from Keith. Go by whichever whichever version has the most data. That's what I go by. Or even if there's good links at the 9, and then even better links at the other one, you count both. I mean, both are counted because the other ones get redirected to you. But I usually mainly look at the one that has the most links. But I mean, both get counted. I've never used rank WYZ. Never used it for a manual. Oh yeah, I usually ignore those manual. I get a lot of those too. From Evan. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can definitely do that. When I have sites that aren't working, I just take down my links from my network. You know what I mean? I just take down the post. I'll delete the post that it was on. So, yeah, that's what I do. From Haroon. No, again, they don't have to be. Some people like to do that. I don't necessarily do that all the time. It can be safer for long term, but I don't. Again, it's an algorithm or it's a machine, and they have trouble putting that type of stuff together. There's sites out there all over the web that talk about different topics. How are they going to point stuff? How are they going to like pick stuff out of the crowd like that? Like they don't. Again, it's a machine. They can't think, so I don't see any problem with it for a long, long time. That's just my opinion. From Kurt. I would change them a bit at a time, Kurt. Yep. I would change. I would just go back and change the links. Where it seems like you know where the problem is, so I would fix the biggest problems first. Give it a few days, see how it reacts. Go fix another one. Maybe give it a few days to a week, and take it like that. Manual from PBN is the best place, in my opinion. But remember, it's not all about PageRank, as you'll see. I'll talk about in the content you'll read or watch from Chrissy. If it's URL specific, Chrissy, it'll give you more power. Like if you're linking to weight loss from a weight loss WordPress, I think that gives you some more power because it's relevant. As far as same email and username, I don't really know how they track that. I try to do different just to be safe. But I will use the same email sometimes. I usually have people do that for me though. So I think it's called Ammer. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Yeah, I'm sure you can. Again, that's a good question for Fletch. But yeah, there's other ways to get paid. From GBHJ. When you say PBN or multiple, I'm not sure I understand that question. Try to re-ask that, GB. Zoom. There we go. I like Host 9, GB. I actually host. KLCast is actually at Host 9. I have some PBN sites on Host 9, so I like Host 9. Absolutely. AMR. AMR. We talk about that all the time, actually. So, yeah, definitely. From Ben. Most people don't know about it, I would say, Ben. People think everyone does just because we're in this community, but I would say a lot of people don't know about it. PBN is a private blog network. You'll learn all about that in the videos from Jerry. That's because this is the first webinar for you, Jerry. They will be in your members area. When they come up, it'll be under the news. From Leah. Mostly I just use PBNs, Leah. I mean, if you can diversify, that's good. But I mean, think about it. There's sites out there all the time that get linked to just from normal websites, not Web 2. I mean, if anything, I think Web 2.0 looks more unnatural. Like a bunch of links from Web 2.0s. If a site's being naturally linked to from a whole bunch of other sites naturally, I mean, I think that's the most natural thing. And that's what a lot of PBNs are. From TD. Again, you can do that. I don't most of the time, but you can. And it could be more safe long term. Right now, I don't think it doesn't matter. From Hin. No. I don't build links to my blog network. Nope. I just get more sites. Easiest way to go. From Nathan. Yeah, I would focus on high profit products. Or if you're siloing, focus on like the silos that will pass juice on down through the silo. I mean, the only risk with that is it could be a lot of work. You know what I mean? So make sure it's worth the money for the work. From GB. I mean, if you're comfortable with HTML, there's nothing wrong with that. It's good diversification, but WordPress is just so easy to use, which is why I use it. And why pretty much everyone uses it. Alright, we're caught up to 5:30, so I'm 15 minutes behind. From Tom. I mean, realistically, we've had people make money within. We've had people make over 10 grand within a couple months. It just depends what kind of time you put into it. Day job killer is a good way to go because those are usually not as competitive, and local clients is a good way to go because you can also do that cheaply with video type stuff. So from James, that depends again on the competition. So it would be case to case there. From Leah. I do use just PBN links a lot of times, Leah. No, but my network's really big, Keith. So if you have like 20 sites and are all on the same hosting, I wouldn't be that worried about that. But as you move past that, I would get different hosting from different companies just to be safe. I mean, that's what I do. From Gordon. No, you don't need it. I don't even really know what that is. And since I don't know what it is, you don't need it because I don't use it. From Carol. Um, I would never link to the same URL again, Carol. So I might link to like the home page in this one, then an inner page on another link. So I might do that depending how many links are already there and all that stuff. And again, requests sometimes don't go through, so make sure you send me another message. From Ben. It won't do anything with hiding anchor text on your money site, Ben. It just hides it for the PBN sites. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Todd does say it can help with like speed to site or like preventing hackers and stuff like that, so you can use it for that. From Jay. I never got too much into launch jacking, so I'm not totally sure. That'd be a good question to ask in the Facebook group. From Carol. No, I never linked to the PBN. I just use the existing power and link out to my sites. If I need more power, I go get more sites. It's the most cost efficient and powerful way to go. Alright, from TD. Yes, and we talked about that. From GB. I mean, for example, for Nashville SEO, we just wanted to dominate. So if it's something that's converting really well, get more real estate, and you'll get more traffic. So if it's something that's converting really well, or in this case, it's doing well, but at the same time, we just want an example of what you can do. So I would do that when the money's right. If it makes sense to do it to get more traffic because it's converting well, do it. From Susan. I mean, you can just go after longer tail keywords, Susan. You don't have to go after gold IRA and all that stuff. You can go after longer tail keywords and do totally fine. Actually, the long tail keywords are usually what make the money. So do your niche research and keyword research and see if you can find some good keywords. I know there's a ton of them. From Ben. We'll probably never cover that directly, just because of I mean, it's really easy to do. Just spam someone's site with the same anchor text over and over. It's pretty easy. From Chrissy. I like to put my money sites on different IPs. They can be on the same hosting as long as they're on different IPs. That's all I worry about. I do have some money sites on the same hosting as PBNs. I don't really like it, but just kind of ended up happening, and I haven't had a problem with it. So I mean, I just try to be as safe as I can. From Jay, no, no, I don't. I don't mess with Social Ladder. From James, not saying it doesn't work or anything. I haven't messed with it really. From James, yeah, yeah, that's fine. No problem switching themes. That's funny, John. I actually had to switch mine because it used to be like Greg MDE or something like that. So everyone knew who I was, so I had to switch it. From Chrissy. Actually, usually for my money sites, Chrissy, I do one post for the home page and the rest are usually pages. That's what I do, just 'cause it's easy. You know, the post will show up on the home page, and the pages will be pages. So I don't. There's not too much to worry about with that. Whether it's a post or a page, I wouldn't worry about that too much. All right, from Leah. I'm actually KLKS actually is not siloed. Yeah, so I can't really answer that because KLKS isn't siloed. It was supposed to be, but there was a miscommunication, and we never siloed it. From Todd. Yeah, Todd would talk to David about that. Again, he's all the structure guy. Anything structure, he's the one to go to. From Ben. Um, I haven't seen that very often, Ben. I would have to see the site, but I've looked at a lot of sites, and I don't even ever remember seeing that actually, where it's like good links one version, bad the other. But that would just mean probably two different owners. Um, so it would depend how many bad links there are and how bad they are, and then how good the good links are, whether I would take a chance or not. From Jonathan. I mean, it's always better to use unique, but if you can do spun content and have it be mostly unique, you can probably do that. From Tom. No, I've never really linked my PBNs together. I mean, that'd be passing domain authority, which would be good, but the question is that the best way to utilize, your PBNs? If they were interlink, I'd be careful about that. You know what I mean? I just usually use them just as I show, or always do actually. From Adrian. It took like maybe a week at most, Adrian. No, probably not even. Actually, my other friend, I did the same thing. Um, I think I used two sites for him. Delaware MMA. There he is right there. He's like number 5. I think I did one link for that. And I did one link for BJJ, which is Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And he's number 3 for that. I mean, that's just one link each for each keyword. So, I could push him up more if I wanted to. From Paul. And those were from pretty weak sites, by the way. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Paul. I would have to look at the case, but yeah, I do that all the time where sites on the first page have way more links than me, and I outrank them, no doubt about it. Once a site is ranked, I do nothing, Tom. I do nothing at all. When a site is ranked where I want it to be, I don't touch it. If it drops a little bit, I'll go back and look at it. Todd, I would talk about that in the Facebook group, where you can partner with someone. And a lot of people have done that very successfully in that group, by the way. Shane. I would ask David that, Shane. But yeah, I mean, we'll have a lot of these webinars, of course. From Manual. Absolutely. Definitely. From Paul. Yeah, I used the link. I used magic type stuff to link to like social properties. Like we saw Nashville SEO. Like the YouTube video, the Foursquare, the Facebook, the Weebly, the Yelp, all that type of stuff you can use magic type stuff for. From Nathan. I don't go through that trouble. Some people do. I just use Link Juice Keeper. But if you want to do that, you can do that. From David. I use a spreadsheet. And that is posted all in there with all the information. And of course, when I link from, I put information, to the money sites and all that. From GB. Oh, each PBN, a PBN is based. Usually, when I say PBN site, it means one site. Private blog network. It depends how you look at it. I'll have networks where I'll only link to specific sites, and I'll call it like Network One. And then I'll have another network that only links to other sites that aren't in Network One. So I'll split it up like that sometimes, but for the most part, a PBN just means like a PBN site. I wouldn't worry about the actual network word too much because that can confuse people. It's just like a grouping of sites, and each site goes on a different IP. Make sure they have different IPs. From Sean. No, they won't be every Sunday. They won't be same time. We always switch it up. We do morning, night, afternoon, different days of the week. Try to accommodate everyone. From Todd. Yeah, you can do that, Todd. As long as everyone's happy and everyone's making out, no problem with that. How long ago did you ask, Jay? Usually I don't see many questions get unanswered in there. I just started doing it, Ben. I got a general course, and then I started just really concentrating on it, looking at data, and I went from there. So it's almost 6, so I'll let you guys put in your last questions now. And I'm still on 549, so I'll get to those questions you're putting in now in just a little bit. And I'll take questions up till 6. Alright, from Sean. Yes. I mean, you can use it for money sites, but it's risky. PBN's a much better way to go. No, I don't, Jay. But with launch jacking, sometimes it's a good idea to. But for the stuff I do, I don't really need to, like the e-cigarette stuff like that. From Keith. I mean, I only link to one URL once from one PBN. Okay, so if I got PBN site 1 and I'm linking to calcast.com, I won't link to calcast.com again, okay? I might link to calcast.com/page1, but I'm not going to link to this again. Then after I link to this, I'm not linking to this page again. And I don't like linking to more than 3 pages to a site. All right, so that would probably be it for this site to this money site. And I usually only do 2 at most, but I'll switch up between doing 1, 2, and 3. That's just my preference. From Hin. You don't need branded anchor text. As long as you're switching up your anchor text, you don't even really need branded anchor text. Not saying it doesn't, it can't help a little bit, but you don't need it. You can do all money keywords, and I have, and I do. From Ben. I mean, I didn't go to school for it, but no, I can't tell you what's worth it without knowing your situation. From GB. Yes, yes, and yes, GB. You're linking from your PBN to your money site, and you can link to other sites from that same PBN. A silo we explain in the content in our videos, because that's pretty complex. Yes, Jay. You can. From Shane. No, they look pretty plain, Shane. Just kind of a basic theme with an article. Try to put some videos and some pictures in the content. That's pretty much it. GB. Yes. Yeah, watch out for spam links. Just try to get as good quality links as you can. From Eve here. If they're foreign links, I just devalue them a little bit, but it doesn't mean I'll totally stay away from them. Alright. From Ben. If it's saying 0 searches, that's just an estimate, Ben. I know people who have made a killing with terms that say 0 searches. Because a lot of times there will be no competition for it, and just because it says 0 doesn't mean it's getting 0 searches. That's just an estimate. For example, if you go type in something like, I don't know, Delaware Handyman, and it says 0 searches, well, come on, we know people are typing in Delaware Handyman, right? I mean, it's just an estimate. Pricing with clients, again, I would talk to Fletch. He is a beast at that stuff. And one of the last rounds of questions, I got one more after this. Then we'll wrap it up, get the recording in the bag. Alright, from Jay. I mean, one will push it up. Again, it depends on the competitiveness. The examples I showed, Delaware Barbershop, Delaware MMA, Delaware BJJ, all one single link. And they were way back on like the 3rd, 4th, 5th pages. From Charlotte. No, don't worry about page rank too much. I mean, it's a factor you consider, but it's just one of the many factors. I don't care if it says page rank 0. If it has good links, I'll use it. I don't care if it says page rank 1. If it has good links, I'll use it. And I don't care if it says page rank 7. If it has bad links, I won't use it. So, I mean, it's something to consider, but it's not like the end all be all. From Jeff. I don't know, Jeff, because I haven't messed too much with linking from sites that only have age. My guess is it would pass a little bit, but not much. From Tom. I don't know which ones have outdated information. I haven't been told about that, Tom. Most of the videos are pretty new, so I don't know which ones would be outdated. From Chrissy. Yes, pretty much. If you find the right keywords, that's a great way to go. Absolutely. You're welcome, Carol. I don't use Social Monkey, Jay. You can use it to your like second tier, like your Web 2.0 and stuff, but I definitely don't use it for money sites anymore. I mean, I recommend just getting a few PBNs at least, which it depends how much what kind of deals you can find. So it's impossible to say, but you can invest a couple $100 in those PBNs and get rolling. You're welcome, TJ. Open Site Explorer is my favorite with Register Compass. So let me go take one last screenshot, see if there's any more questions on that last screenshot. Then we'll wrap up. Alright, so last one here. From Joshua. um, I would possibly hire someone, unless you want to learn Drupal. I've never messed with anyone that has Drupal, so I can't. I don't know how hard it is. If you're comfortable going in there and doing it yourself, then you can do it. But if not, you might want to hire someone, then kind of pass the cost on to him since he's the one that won't switch to WordPress. We know again, Fletch is really good dealing with the client stuff. From Jim. I don't know what specific thing you're talking about, Jim. SE Nile. But you can ask that in the Facebook group, see if anyone jumps on it. But I don't know exactly which one you're talking about. From Joshua. Yeah, absolutely, Joshua. I do that all the time. Again with the Nashville example. Excuse me. I had I had somewhere I would link to this site, the YouTube video. Well, actually, I didn't start these till later, so I would link to like Foursquare, Facebook, Weebly, and Yelp, all in one post. Usually I don't do four, but I might do Foursquare, Facebook, and Weebly. The next one I might do Facebook, Weebly, and Yelp. And then I think we have other ones on the second page I also mixed in with it. So I do that all the time. Very welcome, Ben. Have a good night. From Joshua. Um, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people who like GSA better, but they're both good tools, and they can both do what you need to do. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely how you use it more, I would say. From GB. I mean, you can usually tell spam link just from the domain authority, page authority, the URL, and the anchor text. That's kind of like the combination I use to determine if it's a spam link or not. We can go more in detail into that in the next webinar if you want. From Jay. It depends how many PBNs you have, how strong they are, and how big the launch is going to be. But I would try to give yourself at least 2 weeks in most cases. A week can be enough time in some cases, but I would try to give 2 weeks if you can, at least. From Joshua. YouTube has such high domain authority that the SEO rules are kind of thrown out the window, Joshua. So right now they don't look at it as spammy for some reason. From Jim. Yeah, I'm not sure what SE Nile is. I haven't messed too much with GSA, but Jimmy will be doing some webinars with me probably. So he'll come on. You guys can ask him questions or ask him in the Facebook group or whatever. All right, so that's the last question. Glad everyone enjoyed it. I'm going to wrap this up. I'll put the recording in the queue to go to David tonight, and he should have it up by tomorrow or so. All right. You guys can just let me know. Did you enjoy the webinar and all that? And I'll check the comments. If anyone recommends any more changes, I know Todd recommended one. You can let me know about it, and I'll check it out. I'll see what we can do for you. All right, everyone. Have a good night. I will see you all next webinar.